Dzień dobry Państwu, witam wszystkich Państwa bardzo serdecznie na konferencji podsumowującej projekt Podkarpacka kultura bez barier. Drodzy Państwo, konferencja ta ma na celu poruszyć zagadnienia dotyczące tego, w jaki sposób skutecznie promować kulturę przy ograniczonym budżecie, ale drodzy Państwo, dziś także nasi goście specjalni, eksperci norwescy w swoich prelekcjach przedstawią sposoby na to, jak efektywnie pozyskiwać fundusze norweskie właśnie na promowanie lokalnej kultury. Wydarzenie organizowane jest przez Podkarpackie Stowarzyszenie dla Aktywnych Rodzin przy współpracy z Podkarpackim Stowarzyszeniem Samorządów Terytorialnych. Chciałabym teraz poprosić o zabranie głosu panią prezes Podkarpackiego Stowarzyszenia dla Aktywnych Rodzin, panią Monikę Markowicz.
Dzień dobry, witam Państwa, Panie Marszałku, drodzy liderzy samorządów, drodzy goście. Ostatni raz stałam w tym miejscu reprezentując PSAR i odbierając z rąk Pana Marszałka nagrodę NGO Wysokich Lotów w kategorii kultura, a więc bardzo miłe mam stąd doświadczenia. To było w roku 2018, po zaledwie 2 latach działalności i było jednym z pierwszych poważnych sygnałów, że wysiłki, które podejmuje nasze stowarzyszenie, są zauważane i doceniane nie tylko przez bezpośrednich odbiorców naszych działań. Tymi odbiorcami są przede wszystkim dzieci, ich rodzice i nauczyciele, mieszkańcy Podkarpacia. Od samego początku promowaliśmy nasze województwo i jego dziedzictwo kulturowe. Być może widzieliście nasze oryginalne publikacje, książki, gry planszowe, albo słyszeliście o prowadzonych przez nas warsztatach, imprezach kulturalnych. W niejednej z Waszych gmin byliśmy i z niejedną już współpracowaliśmy. Projekt, który doprowadził do naszego dzisiejszego spotkania, opracowaliśmy, żeby znowu pokazać nieznane bogactwo województwa podkarpackiego. Sami, bez wsparcia z zewnątrz, zdobyliśmy fundusze norweskie o wartości ponad 2 milionów złotych na wprowadzenie w gminach innowacji w kulturze. 5 zespołów gminnych pracowało pod opieką wybitnych polskich i norweskich specjalistów, żeby rozwijać swoje kompetencje, uczyć się, generować przełomowe pomysły i je skutecznie realizować. I tak, jeszcze na nich zarabiać. Nie w teorii. Efektem jest 5 wydarzeń kulturalnych, które odbyły się w ciągu ostatnich 2 miesięcy i przyniosły wspaniałe efekty. Zgromadziły tłumy. Wszędzie frekwencja przekroczyła oczekiwania i wcześniejsze doświadczenia. Wydarzenia te pokazały, że kultura może być atrakcyjna i ważna jest dla lokalnej społeczności, dla jakości życia mieszkańców. Pokazały, że służy ona budowie porozumienia między ludźmi, wspólnoty, międzypokoleniowej więzi, dumy z małej ojczyzny. Jeśli nie było Waszych gmin, to żałujcie i zapytajcie organizatorów tych wydarzeń, niektórzy są tutaj wśród nas, czy są zadowoleni z udziału w projekcie. Z tego, co słyszeliśmy, bardzo. Być może zastanawiacie się, które gminy miały szansę na uczestnictwo w tej inicjatywie. Tak jak wcześniej wspomniałam, wszystkie. Każda reprezentowana tu gmina dostała tę okazję. Skierowaliśmy do Was zaproszenia. Mieliście je na swoich mailach. Problem w tym, i mówię tu, tak jak wspomniałam wcześniej, bez pretensji, że maile te zapewne często zostały przeoczone w natłoku innych. A może dokonująca pierwszej selekcji sekretarka lub urzędnik od razu je skasowali. Dlatego mam propozycję. Jeśli chcą Państwo współpracować w przyszłości z naszym stowarzyszeniem, do czego zachęcam, to zostawcie mi kontakt bezpośrednio do siebie. Nie na ogólną skrzynkę. Zeskanujcie kod, który widzicie w swoich teczkach i wyślijcie do nas informacje. My nie kończymy działalności. Będziemy pisali wnioski, będziemy korzystali z funduszy norweskich, gdy zacznie się nowa perspektywa, szwajcarskich lub innych. Będziemy pracowali na rzecz Podkarpacia, nie tylko w kulturze, także w obszarach edukacji, praw człowieka, zwłaszcza dzieci oraz w obszarze pomocy humanitarnej. Jesteśmy dziś organizacją w pełni profesjonalną, dużą, zatrudniającą ponad 30 osób, realizującą wielkie projekty w partnerstwach z potężnymi partnerami, w tym z agencjami ONZ. Szukamy partnerów tak silnych jak my. Zapraszam Państwa na pozostałą część konferencji. Dowiecie się, jak kultura funkcjonuje w Norwegii, jak od Norwegów się uczyć, zdobywać środki i realizować niebanalne inicjatywy na rzecz swoich mieszkańców. Myślę, że to ważne dla nas wszystkich tutaj. Chcę na koniec podziękować wszystkim, którzy mają swój wkład w tą konferencję. Jest to wyjątkowa współpraca wielu osób i po raz pierwszy z PSST jest to wyjątkowa współpraca. Jesteśmy zachwyceni, jak w krótkim czasie tyle rzeczy udało nam się szybko zorganizować. Natomiast muszę Państwa zasmucić, niestety koncertu dzisiaj nie będzie, Panie Marszałku, ze względu na to, że nie udało nam się tak szybko zorganizować norweskiego twórcy. Musimy pamiętać, że kultura norweska jest inna niż nasza. Tam praca jest rozłożona na raty i ludzie szanują swój czas. My niestety pracujemy nieco inaczej, ale może to też jest okazja do tego, żeby to zmienić. Dziękuję bardzo.
Koncertu nie będzie, ale będzie dziś dużo ciekawych informacji właśnie o tych inicjatywach, które w ramach projektu udało się zrealizować. A już teraz połączymy się z pierwszym ekspertem z Norwegii. Będzie to prelekcja dotycząca dobrych praktyk współpracy kulturalnej norwesko-polskiej. O tym, na co zwracać uwagę, szukając norweskich partnerów do projektów kulturalnych, opowie Thea Breivik, ekspert z Norweskiej Rady Sztuki.
Hello, good morning. This is a little bit strange because I am in my office in Oslo and I would so much have wished to be together with you in Poland. My name is Thea Breivik. I work for Arts and Culture Norway. I was asked to talk about best practice regarding international cooperation. So I do have a presentation which I would like to share with you now. So I'll try to do this. Let's see if this works. So what I wanted to talk about today, I will just start by presenting my organization, Arts and Culture Norway. I will talk a little bit about the EEA grants, which is the reason why you all are gathered and that I am invited to this conference. I will try to share a little bit about my understanding of best practice in international cooperation. I will also try to give you some tips and tricks in how to find Norwegian partners. And along my presentation, I would like to give you some impressions of projects between Norwegian and Polish partners. So I have some photos, and the one you're seeing here is from a project called Whose Voice is Being Heard? And this is a project between the Wrocław Institute of Culture and Safe Muse. And this was a project which was mainly involving artists which had residencies in Oslo and in Wrocław. And the theme was about minorities and inclusion, and also focusing on especially female artists. So this is one of many projects between Norway and Poland. I'm very happy now because Vedat has now shown me the auditorium. So now I have an idea of whom I'm talking to. So it's really nice to see you all. Okay, then I go further. So I would like to start with giving you an impression of who I am and the organization that I work for. And Arts and Culture in Norway is what we call an arts council in the more general meaning. In Norway, we just changed our name, so we are called in Norwegian a directorate. And this means that we are placed under the Ministry of Culture. In the model, you can see that to the right. We are the primary governmental operator for the implementation of Norwegian cultural policy. So we have our funding from the Ministry of Culture, but the Parliament decides the cultural policy for Norway. You see a small illustration of the Parliament at the top. The basis for cultural policy in Norway is provided by the state. But a large part of the cultural policy is delegated to the local and regional authorities, and they can make their own priorities as well. Tor Helge, which I think is in the auditorium, I don't see him, but he will talk more about the municipalities. Yes. Just to say a few words about cultural policy in Norway. This is built around a basic understanding of the role that arts and culture play in a society. A rich and varied cultural sector is one of the prerequisites for freedom of speech, and for a functioning democracy. Even more important these days, where we see that the public sphere is increasingly fragmented. So arts and culture, very important. I think we all can agree on that. But coming back to the arts and culture model, which you see on the illustration, you see that on the screen. I think I can sum up that our main role is that we are a funding body and we are an advisory body for the Ministry of Culture. What is also important is that the Arts and Culture Norway, we follow what we call an arm's length principle in how the funding is allocated. And that means that the political side cannot interfere in how the funds are shared. So experts from the sector are chosen to decide on the projects. So in this to say it very brief, a minister cannot interfere in decisions made by the Arts Council. Yes, there is no such an Arts Council in Poland. That's why I wanted to spend a minute on explaining who we are. So our main tasks are: we are the main funding body for independent projects, organizations outside of institutions in Norway. Institutions are funded directly by the Ministry of Culture. What I can say is the Cultural Fund of Norway is the main funding, and as I said, the funding is allocated following the arm's length principle. So this is one important task. If you would say Arts Council Norway to some artists in Norway, they would think of this funding. We also have a government artist grant, which is also very important for like individual artists, because they can apply for different stipendias and work grants. And this is a very specific Norwegian setup, which is extremely important for artists in Norway. But then I will get closer to what I'm going to talk about today. And that is our other tasks in Arts and Culture Norway. We have many other tasks. We are also a national coordinator for diversity in the arts. We work with cultural heritage, and we work with the development for advisors in development for the museum sector. We have a knowledge and research department. And finally, where I am placed, we have international cooperation as a big task. And to be very brief about this, we are national contact points for Creative Europe, as you might know, the EU culture program, and the EEA grants, which I will talk about today. The photo here is from a municipality in a project where a municipality in Poland has taken part. I am not going to try to pronounce it. You see the text. A very interesting project with the municipality and also AX, which is an NGO in Trondheim, working together on different exchange and also making performances together. And this is from a performance called Solidarity, very much related to the Polish history. So I will jump to the next slide, and here I'm going to give you quite a lot of information, and this might be very interesting and very known to some of you, and maybe maybe too much details for some of you, but I will try to share anyway. So as I think you also said in their introduction, this project that has the conference where you are attending today is part of an EEA grants project. And EEA grants is the same as Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway grants. And what is this? This is an agreement that gives Iceland, Liechtenstein, and Norway a formal connection to the EU. It's a big agreement about many, many things, but it also includes grants that are given from these 3 donor countries to 15 countries in the EU. And the main idea for this funding is to let me see this wording. It is to reduce social disparities and also to strengthen bilateral ties between the countries. We also, in a very simple way, used to call it the ticket for the donor states to connect to the EU and again into the inner market. You might know that Norway and Iceland, Liechtenstein are not members of the EU, but we are very well integrated. When it comes to the EEA grants, where this project from the Podkarpacka Association for Active Families is now taking part, together with Norsensus and Vedat also in the audience. This project was part of a call which was in a period which is now very soon to close. So it's been a period for 7 years, and this funding period is now closing. And I just wanted to give you a brief status of where we are now, because I think many people are waiting for, will there be new calls from the EEA grants? Will there be any funding available? And I cannot give you a very simple answer to this. I'll just try to kind of briefly take you through where we are now. Because I said that we're just closing one mechanism, one period of 7 years, and we're going into the next period of 7 years. And this was just agreed upon between the EU and the donor states, Norway, Liechtenstein, and Iceland, in December. And now we're in a phase where this has to be ratified by every member country in EU. And when this is ratified, then we come into a negotiation phase, which with the donor states and every country regarding which areas to prioritize. Should it be innovation, business, climate reductions, education, or should it be culture? This is something that is decided between the donor states and each country. So we don't know yet if there is going to be a culture program in Poland. I must say that my fingers are crossed. There has been a culture program in Poland, between Norway and Poland, for many years. There's been a huge interest in this, both from the Polish side and from the Norwegian side. So I really hope that the negotiations on the level of the foreign affairs ministries from both Norway and Poland will conclude with culture is going to be one of the programs in the future. But we don't know. So I will have to say if there is going to be a program, and I don't know if, then I don't know when, because this is kind of a big bureaucratic way to go. So maybe I would not guess anything before 2026, 2027 when it comes to the EEA grants. So that is just like a little background on where we are regarding the EEA grants. But coming to Poland, as I said, we have been cooperating for many years. Since 2009, there has been a Norwegian-Polish projects. In this period, which I'm talking about, where not the new period, but this period, there has been more than 62 funded projects. And this means that there has been a lot more applications. So I think we have counted that we can say that there are 270 Norwegian-Polish partnerships that have been applying for funding. Not all of them succeeded, as you see, but many have worked a lot together to make an application and to form a project. Some have done this anyway, but there is a lot of contacts between Norway and Poland, as you can see. We in Arts and Culture Norway, we are a donor program partner. That is an official role given to us by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Norway. And we work very closely with the Ministry of Culture in Poland. And the photo you can see here, all the happy people, that is in one of our meetings and a seminar for experts. So just to say very quickly, we are two partners like us in Norway, Arts and Culture Norway, working with the Ministry of Culture, and also the Directorate of Cultural Heritage. And many of you might know this program, which is totally connected to cultural heritage, where restoration and revitalization of older buildings and cultural heritage is the main thing. But the part I work with is access to contemporary arts, to the living culture. Yes, and then I will try to kind of come closer to the best practice in international work. And as we are here in the frame of the EEA grants, I just wanted to share some links with you, which can be useful for you if you would like to kind of dive into the sea of what kind of projects have there been between Norway and Poland. Then you would see the Ministry of Culture in Poland has their own webpage, and the EEA grants has a page for all programs, including culture. But it is possible to go into this portal and find all culture projects as well. So this can be a source for information for you. But as you understand, the EEA grants can be quite far ahead. And I wanted to give you some experiences from my side on cooperation within EEA grants, but I hope they also can be useful for you if you are thinking of international cooperation in other programs. So I hope it's not going to be too specific connected to the EEA grants. So I wanted to share some thoughts with you. What I think is extremely important when you are planning a project, of course, you're planning a partnership, international partnership. What we have seen is that building a relationship with your partner is extremely important. It gives strength to the days when things are not so easy and if there is a conflict, but it also is crucial for all the work you are going to do, because developing something together, I think it requires a lot of trust, and it also requires a lot of creativity, and creativity is quite reliant on trust and good relations. So using some time for building a strong relationship is something what we would recommend strongly. And that can, of course, be expensive, because it's often more easy to meet physically, but it's also a possibility to use digital tools. We're getting more and more used to it, even though this feels a little bit strange. Yes. What we have seen in the projects that we have been working with in this period between Norwegian and Polish actors is that real involvement, that both the project promoter and the partner is really involved in the project. I think that gives the best results in sharing experiences, and it gives also the best foundation for really good activities. And yes, The next point you will see here is that there should be enough time for planning. We have experienced many times that Polish partners are looking for Norwegian partners and that they come maybe 2 weeks before the deadline of the call, and that is far too late. If you want a real involvement, you should start very early. I don't know how early actually, but I mean, many say to us that they have spent actually half a year of making application or the project idea to fully have it, to have like a really good project. So this takes time. We have also seen that in the previous projects that budget is also extremely important. It has to be a realistic budget, and this can be a little bit difficult in international projects because the price level can be quite different one country compared to another. But that it makes it even more important to be very thorough on doing the budgets. I see I've written wrong. It should be the partnership agreement. This is extremely important in international corporations. The partnership agreement is your contract, and everything should be outlined here. The roles, the budget, the reporting procedures, how to deal with exchange rates, huge task, and of course, how to handle conflicts. Because close partnerships are, even of the best kind, are never without some challenges. But the strength of the partnership is proven in how problems and disagreements are solved. And if you have something to look back on when these hard times come in your partnership agreement, it can help you a lot. So these are some kind of general things to have in mind when you are planning a partnership. I wanted to share another project with you, and I understand that many of you in the audience are from municipalities. And this project here, which was carried out in 21-22, is a project between the municipal library of Łódź and Bergen municipal library. And Bergen Library has been partner in very many projects. I think the libraries in Norway has something really interesting to offer these days. I just wanted to mention this, and especially because you are from the municipalities, and I guess you all have libraries. The libraries in Norway has a relatively new legal act saying that the libraries should be arenas for debates, for public debate, and for the spoken word. And this is a big change from when I was a child, when the library needs a place for quiet reading. The libraries in Norway have a lot of debates, meetings for sharing literatures, presentations of books. It is really the libraries has really become a tool in the society for freedom of speech and a place to stimulate open exchange of views. So I think the libraries in Norway are very active, and many of them are really doing interesting work in this respect. So this is a tips from me. Look into the libraries. And you can maybe also talk with the library in Łódź and hear what they say. They made a project which was, of course, very much of sharing of competence between the employees, but it was also an outreach project regarding inclusion of minorities and immigrants. And it also had an international conference in the end. So very interesting project here. And I wanted to share another one. I just have to look at the time. Yes, this is also a favorite project from municipal culture center of Ladek in Poland and a dancing school in the north of Norway called Dance Lab in Tromsø. And from my understanding, Ladek is a very small municipality, and they managed to get funding for this project, which was about engaging the inhabitants in the community in dance. And they really did. They really had a lot of activities, a lot of festivals, but also really engaging all ages in dance classes. And this also led to the establishment of a dance school in Ladek. So it's not, the EA Grants projects has been extremely varied. It's been large institutions taking part, but it has also examples of very small organizations taking part. Yes, the next picture. This is about something I also was asked to speak about, how to find partners. And this is one of our tasks in Arts and Culture Norway, to help to facilitate partnerships. Quite a big job, I must say. We have many requests from Polish partners, and we have also many requests from other countries, because we work with 8 countries who have culture programs. So there's kind of a very hard competition to find relevant and good Norwegian partners. But I think I wanted to give you some advice on how you can or how to act in this respect. And I think one of the important things is that you really have to define your idea or your project. What do you really want to achieve with the project? And of course, funding is a very big part of this, but there has to be something, a core of what you want to do. And it has to be more than funding. I think something which is really important is that you really know what you want to do. And when you do your research and are looking for the partners that you want to work with, that's the contact you take, the first contacts that you do. It's very important. We see so many partner search requests that are quite wide. It's very difficult to understand what do you want to achieve in the project? What kind of organization are you? Who are you looking for? We have very many saying, I would like a Norwegian partner. And that's very difficult to kind of work with. And emails, of course, very important tool, but that tends to be overseen. When you have many emails, you tend to go very quickly by. So I often recommend, do try to use the telephone and follow up by emails. And then it's, from our side, we see that it's very important that you describe who you are, because the culture sector in Poland and Norway can be quite different. So it is important to kind of place yourself in the culture sector. Who are you? You also have to share your idea, what you want to do. But this is a complicated thing, because there is a fine balance also, because you also would like your partner to have the chance to influence. And the Norwegian partners, they would like to influence the project. They would like to have their saying on what is important for them or what is engaging for them. So that is also making a true partnership is a fine balance between the partners in what to do. So you need to have an idea, but it has to be open enough. And of course, you need to be quite targeted about who would you like to work with and which roles they have in the project. This photo here is from a partner search meeting, which was in Warsaw some years ago. And Ingrid here to the right, she ended up with some other partners than the people that you see in the project, in the picture. And by saying this, I want to say that it's always some work with finding partners. It can take some time, and sometimes you don't find the perfect partner first at once. You have to go on. Maybe like in life, I would say. Okay, I'm just a little bit unsure about my time. I hope I'm not talking too much. Okay, some bullet points here. That you have to point at the clock if we're going too far. Okay, start early, be targeted. If you are a small organization, I would strongly advise you to connect with maybe the municipality, maybe the region, maybe another institution. Being part of an international project requires quite a lot of work, whether it's within the EEA grants or in the Creative Europe. So I think you should have enough resources when you go into such work. And language is, of course, very important. You need to have somebody in your organization that can work using English as a working language. Of course, we don't have it as our mother tongue, either of us, not in Poland and not in Norway. So language can be a challenge, but I think that's possible to overcome. But English must be used to quite a detailed extent. When it comes to finding partners, it's extremely important to use your own network. We see that the best results for partner searches is when you use your own network. Umbrella organizations can also be a very useful resource. I will show you a slide for that as well. And another thing is that a cultural actor that has been part of an international project before has a lot of valuable experience, and they tend to be more easy going on doing a new project. So that could also be something which could be something to look for. And I shared you the links for both the Ministry of Culture and the EEA grants, where you can find partners that have been taking part in projects previously. That can be important. And I've also shared our email address, because we are also part of our work, including being an advisory body for the Ministry of Culture in Poland and developing the programs, is also that we should facilitate partnerships. So it is possible to call or to send us an email as well when that time comes. Yes, this is from the partner search meeting in Warsaw. I love this energy of this, but it is also showing that there are a lot of meetings and a lot of, So that is one of, I'll share this. Then I come to a link with some, and I must underline, this is only a very small sample of umbrella organizations in Norway, which could be useful when you are looking for partners. I have listed from visual arts, from music, from museums, from festivals, and also the network called Norwegian Arts Abroad, which covers all culture sectors. We can share this presentation after, I think, so then you will have access to these links. It might be a good way to get to know the cultural sector in Norway, looking into these links. And then I'm coming very close to an end of my presentation. I wanted to, because we, as you know, EEA grants will not have any calls for some time. But there are many other funding opportunities, and I guess you would know many of them yourself. I just wanted to point to a few. And there is one fund under the EEA grants, which is still active and will be until April 2025. And that is the Active Citizens Fund for Poland, which deals with the civil society. And of course, the culture sector and civil society are very close. So this might be a relevant funding opportunity for you to look into. The funding here is smaller than in the culture program, but it might be something to look into. And then I would also like to draw your attention to Creative Europe, the EU culture program. This also might be very well known to some of you. I wanted also to share with you that there is an open call now for focusing on Ukrainian refugees. And in this call, you don't need to have other international partners. You can the thematic area of this call is to work with refugees from Ukraine. And this is also a call that is open now. So I would urge you to look into this. I understand that all over Poland this has been a huge work and also effort to include and to work with the refugees. So this might be an idea for you if you're working in this area. This photo. Sorry. This photo is from a project called Heritage Accessible. It's from the National Museum of Lublin and the Cultural History Museum of Oslo. Big institutions working together, but this is also a relevant example from the EEA grants. They have been working a lot with exchange of employees, and they've been working a lot with meeting the audiences and how to meet different groups of the audiences. So then I will just say thank you so much. Dziękuję bardzo. I think there's also planned a Q&A.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Drodzy Państwo, jeśli macie Państwo jakieś pytania, żeby usprawnić naszą konferencję, ponieważ nasz kolejny ekspert jest już w gotowości, dziękujemy za prezentację Thea. Thank you very much.
Thank you and have a very nice conference and yes, very nice to be here.
Thank you. Drodzy Państwo, a więc teraz przejdziemy do kolejnej prelekcji o tym, jak wygląda kultura finansowania praktyk w gminach Norwegii. Opowie nam Tyr Helge Reinsen-Myn, lider kultury gminy Alta. Zapraszam bardzo serdecznie.
Yeah, hello everyone. Thank you very, very much to invite me to your town. I've not seen it yet because it was dark when I arrived 30 minutes over midnight last night, but this afternoon I will go to the old city, I guess, and have a look at your city. I'm going to speak a bit about municipalities in Norway. And of course, especially into the culture, organization, and economy. I think my goal is to show you what to meet when you are having partners around in Norway. How many of you have already been in Norway? Okay, not so many, so I can lie as much as I would like. Thank you. The first thing, I've been into cooperation in Poland for many years. I think the first cooperation I was into was 25 years ago in Wrocław. You say it like that? Wrocław. I really fell in love in Poland at that time, and since then I've been into different cooperation almost every year, both in Poland and in Russia before everything went wrong there, and in Lithuania, Portugal, England, Germany, Vietnam. When you are working with culture, we are really, really lucky. We can actually, if we are a bit creative, we can go wherever we like to go and do almost whatever we want to do. Can you change, please? My work, I'm manager of cultural office in a municipality in Norway called Alta. I have also for several years been the chairman of an umbrella organization for all the municipalities in Norway into culture, Norwegian Culture Forum. And while I've been working with Norwegian Culture Forum, I have also get to know almost all the municipality in Norway. And we have a lot of municipalities like you. We have, I think now it's 353 municipality. You can change, please. I don't know why I have this animal on all my presentations, but when I'm coming back and meet people 1 year, 2 years, 3 years after the presentation, they remember me because of this picture, not because of rest of the thing I've been telling them. There is a story behind the picture, but I'm sorry, I don't have time to take the story now. Please. This is the animals we are struggling with in Norway, reindeer. And for us, they are, when we are driving, I live up in the north of Norway, they are a mess. We don't want them there. But when I have visitors from Poland, they love them. If I can't find the reindeer, they are so angry. So now we have started a small farm where we have the reindeer inside some fences. So every time we have visitors, we can show them reindeer. Please, the next one. Norway is, like Poland, a big country, large areas, but we don't have many people in Norway. We have approximately 5 million people, something like that, 5 million, and the area is bigger than Poland. So we have a lot of space, Me, myself, I live up in the very north. Alta is high up. And when I'm driving to the capital, Oslo, I need 30 hours. Then I have to drive through Finland to Sweden and then into Norway again to if I am going with a car to Oslo. So it's a long country. I was told that some of you have been have a cooperation with Oslo. Oslo. Oslo is a very nice town, but you have not seen Norway if you only have seen Oslo. Norway is a big country with different nationalities, actually. Can you please change? This is a typical Norwegian town in the wintertime. We ride bicycle in the snow even. And in my town, we have snow for 7 months every year. Please, the next one. Our gardener, they are mostly working with snow and ice. They are snow and ice gardening, not plants. This is city center of my town. And quite a normal city center in a small town in Norway. Next one, please. So I will try to speak about Norwegian municipalities, a little bit about the political system, the Culture Act, Culture Office in Norwegian municipalities. Action, what we are doing, library, like Thea mentioned, the library is very, very important in Norway. If you ever are going to a city in Norway as a tourist or in a project, go to the library. Cultural school, a youth house, a bit about heritage museums and project. Next ones, please. Norwegian municipalities have a lot of experience in international cooperation. Most of the culture department in the municipalities has been into different cooperation for many, many years. And we love it. We love it. Like you, I guess. We want to meet, we want to see and learn, and we want to show and tell. Please, next one. Who is a Norwegian? How are we Norwegian? The Polish secretary in Hajnówka, a municipality here in Poland, which I have a partnership with now, she's very honest. When I come like this to meet her mayor or chief advisor and something, she's really angry at me. No, you can't come like this. So I have bought a dress and a tie and new fine shoes and everything. But when you are meeting mayors and chief advisors and prime minister or what the king, whatever in Norway, they are like this. We are not so dressed up. So this is quite normal, and it's not because we don't want to show you respect. It's the way we are. My shoes even, they are too different. That's also quite normal. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, next one, please. We have different nationalities, different ethnic groups living in Norway. We have the oldest one, and which I think is the most important, it's the Sami, the Lappish people, those people who are working with reindeer. And in my area, up in the north, they are quite a big group. Next one, please. The Sami group and ethnicity was much more bigger before the Second World War. This is from a small municipality in the northern part of Norway. In 1930, they do counting, and all the white flags are family talking Sami language. Sami language is totally different than Norwegian language, totally different. And the Norwegian flags are the Norwegian family. And after the Second World War, because up in the northern part of Norway, the German burned down everything. There was no buildings, nothing, no people. Everyone had to go to the south. But when they moved back, the Norwegian government forced them sort of to be Norwegian. So when in 1950 we do this counting and ask people what nationality are you, everyone had became Norwegian. So that's a Norway is a lot of different thing. Next one, please. And it's some numbers that people around always ask me, because you believe we are very, very, very rich, each one of us, and maybe it's true, and maybe it's not true. An average income for a man or a lady in Norway is 60,000 euro a year. But then remember, my daughter living in Oslo in a small flat, 45 square meter, she have to pay almost 20,000 euro to rent the flat. So the cost for living is really, really high. We have more than 100,000 children in Norway, and we are only 5 million people. 100,000 children in Norway who are living in what we call poor families. They don't afford to go on holiday or be a part of the culture school or the thing they have to pay for. So we are not that rich. Everything is not very, very okay about the economy. But we are good into cars. 85% of new cars are electric. So that's a good thing. Okay, next one, please. Next one, please. And you will probably learn when you learn to knowledge. We trust everyone. We can put our wallet on a table in a restaurant, leave it. We don't believe anyone will steal nothing from us. We trust people. And most of the time, it works. We are quite liberal, political liberal. Even if we are on the right side or left side political, we are very liberal. And we do not feel rich. We struggle just like rest of the world to have enough time to work enough to pay the bills. And we are not necessarily born in Norway. We have a quite big population from other countries. In my town, we are 22,000 people. 300 of those people are from Poland. And they are living permanently in my town. For example, we are two here today from Norway. One is born in Turkey, and one is born in Norway. Yeah, so that's quite normal. Next one, please. Next one, please. Okay, what is a Norwegian municipality? Next one, please. Like in Poland, we are very, very different, the municipality. The smallest one have 200 people. It's called Utsira. It's a fantastic municipality out on an island, 200 people. But they have school, they have, of course, teachers, they have a culture manager, they, of course, have a mayor. It works. The biggest one is Oslo. I think it's approximately 700,000 in Oslo. My municipality have 22,000 people. So an average Norwegian municipality have 12,500 people living there. So the rest of the number I'm coming to now, it's have this in mind. Next one, please. This is my mayor. They were celebrating the Sami National Day. Small municipalities in Norway, this is a bit complicated. I'll try to explain it easy. And the easy way is to say that most of the small municipality have a board system, and that means that bureaucrats, people in the administration like me, have more power. So we like that. When we got to the bigger municipalities, like Oslo, Trondheim, and the big cities, they have the parliamentarism. And that means that the politicians have more power. There is a difference. And in a lot of practical issues for us, it's quite a big difference. It's two different systems. Next one, please. This is my municipality and the budget. And it's the same, almost the same in all municipalities in Norway. Not the same amount, but the same differences. We spend most money on health care, elderly care, hospitals, and that sort of thing. Then we spend a lot of money on school and children care. And then we have building, roads, and it's exactly the same system as in Poland. We have some municipal roads, we have some county roads, and we have some government roads. So when there's a hole in a road and we have to fix it, we quarrel who owns this road. And the culture sector, we have, it's a small sector, but of course the coolest sector. We also, some of the municipality finance the churches, not everyone, but some. We do it in my town. Next one, please. This is from an outdoor festival. I will show you some more pictures from this festival. Next one, please. Thea, who was speaking before me, she was a bit into this. We have a cultural act in Norway, and it says something. What is the government? What do the government have to do? What do the county level have to do? And what do the municipality have to do? But this cultural act is not very... We can actually do almost whatever we want to do. Next one, please. Because the act actually say everyone has the right to participate in cultural activities. Everyone has the right to experience professional culture. And all the levels have some responsibility to do that. So it's not very hands-on. It's difficult to measure this. Next one, please. What every municipality in Norway have to have, because that's into other laws. That is a cultural school, and I'll tell you a bit more about the cultural school, and a library, and in 2 years from now, we will probably have a new law that is going to tell us that the municipality need to have plans for their culture. So there will be a bit more stricter. Next one, please. But although the law is not very specific, almost all the municipality have this system. 95% of the municipality own their own concert hall or halls. Everyone has a culture school. 90% of the municipality have youth house. And youth house, it's sort of cultural house, creative house for young people. Library, every municipality have to have it. The municipality level, I think all the municipality have some project into some festivals or different culture project. Into the culture office, we also in most of the municipality have youth council. And there is a law that every municipality must have a youth council. That means in my town, that means that 15 young people between 13 and 19 have their own council, and they can go to the mayor with anything they want. They actually decide. They have a lot of power, actually. Most of the cultural office have an international apartment. It means that one of the people in the office have some international project. And most of the municipality have a thing called BUA. I will show you that later on. And then from the culture office in the municipality, we work a lot with NGOs, volunteers, with the museums, with cinema. We often own the cinema and the museum, but we don't run them, and other. And the average number of people in the cultural office in Norway are 2.5. So we are not many people in the cultural offices in municipalities. It's of course it's from 1 to the biggest have 20, 30, 40. But the normal is to have between 2 and 3. Next one, please. And here you see what we work with. If you take this Norway, you see that? That's the average in Norway. 2,000 Norwegian kroner, that's 200 euro for each people living in Norway are spent on culture. And then we measure the different municipality, how is we compare to this. And we measure what we spend the money on. And you can see the youth house, that's the blue one, or activities for children and young, that's always quite big. You see the library, number 2, is quite big all the way, so library is important. And then the culture school, the red one, and then the museum, the purple one, and then galleries, art, the brown one, and then buildings, the pink one. That's the concert hall and that sort of thing. And then a big pot with all the other stuff. We measure a lot of things in Norway. Next one, please. We also measure how is the satisfaction among the public into culture. And if you saw the last one, my town, Alta, we are at the bottom. We don't spend much money on culture, actually. But we are one of the highest into satisfaction. People in Alta are satisfied with what we offer them as a culture. And that has something to do with NGOs and volunteer work. People work a lot as volunteer into culture actions in my town. Next one, please. Library. Thea was telling you most of the things, so I will not go very deep into this. But in a Norwegian library, you don't read books actually. You do other stuff most of the time. Next one, please. The thing with the library is it's 100% financed by the municipality because the law say so. So it's an important thing for the municipalities and for the people living in the municipalities. And almost all the libraries are located in the city center. And very, very important, remember this 100,000 children who can't afford to go playing football because they have to pay football or the culture school. In the library they can do a lot of stuff. Library have PlayStation, have very many things to do for children, and everything in the library have to be free of charge. Next one, please. And if you see in the bottom here, I have some links. So if you don't have to click into the link now, but if you have this, you can go into the link and you can see some of the websites. You can even find information in Polish, like in this BUA. BUA is a thing that more and more municipalities in Norway spend money on. And that's actually equipment that you can use on the spare time. It's bicycles, it's skis, it's tents, it's everything, and everything is for free. And you can go in there and you can loan new skis, downhill or whatever, for 7 days, and it's for free. And it's a lot of equipment, so it's always something you can loan. Bicycle, a skateboard, drone, fly, everything you can loan. So go into bua.no and have a look. And this is, I had some people from Poland visiting Bua around in Norway, and they say we can never do this in Poland. In Norway we can, because we trust. Okay, here you have some skis, they cost 200 euro. Bring them back after a week if you are nice. And they do, yeah. Okay, next one, please. Cultural school, I guess the time is running. How is it? It's okay, yeah. Cultural school is very important in Norway. Every municipality have to have a culture school, and culture school have a lot of international cooperation around the world into different, because it's very hands-on. If you are playing a guitar and drum and having a band or something, it's very easy to find someone in your town to cooperate with. So cultural school in Norway are good candidates to have project together with. And the culture school, that's in the evening and in the school holiday and when the normal school is not running. The stupid thing with the culture school is that it costs money. It costs approximately 300 euro to participate for 1 year. So these 100,000 children who can't afford, they have to apply for other money if they should afford it. And some of the municipality in Norway have possibilities to where they can apply to the money for this culture school, for example. Okay, next one, please. And here you see into the culture school what we do if we take Norway, Norge in the middle. You see the blue one is dance in the culture school. The next one is theater. Then the green one, big one, is music. And it's a lot of instrument you can learn at the culture school. And the next one, the small one, is art, painting. And then all the other stuff, the purple one. Yes, please, next one. Youth house, very important and long tradition in Norway. In Hainovka, one of our project with Hainovka was to start a youth house in Hainovka, and it started up last year with funding from EOS. And it worked. I'm going to visit that youth house in 2 weeks from now. And our youth house are quite powerful centers as a creative arena. The youth house in my municipality, it's approximately 1,000 square meter, and all the young people between 13 and 19 who have something to do there, who are playing in a band, running the cafeteria, or painting, or actually just hanging around, they get their own key. And they can come and go as they want. And this is even possible in the middle of Oslo. There is both in libraries and in youth house, people get their own key. So this is the Norwegian system. We trust each other. And of course, sometimes things go really bad, but not often. Next one, please. And then the museum, cinema, other stuff who have a lot of tradition to cooperate with projects all over the world. The museums are not run by the municipality. We often own the museum or the cinema or a festival or something. We are often the owner, the municipality are the owner. But the museum, they decide, they have their own board and they decide everything themselves. And the financing is often 1/3 municipality, 1/3 the government, and 1/3 tickets income. Museum in my town is quite a big institution, 40 people working there. They have 200,000-300,000 visitors every year. So museums, go to the museums in Norway. Like in Poland. Next one, please. Yeah, this is our snow and ice festival. I already have an idea with the mayor with you, because you have a sand festival. I showed them a picture from our festival. Snow and ice and sand, it's actually the same. So we can do it in snow and ice. Here you can do it in sand, and you do it in sand. And a lot of the artists participate in our festival. We have our own festival, Snow and Ice Festival, owned by the municipality, run by artists from all over the world, and local schools, local architects, more than 800 people are into this, and rebuilding the city center every winter. It's really, really cool. Next one, please. So the volunteer NGOs are very, very important in Norway. They are a lot of the economy into sport and culture, especially sport, but also into culture. And into culture, if we see what is the biggest thing, the blue one is korps. How do you say korps in English? Playing trumpet and together with other, what? It's music. A lot of people playing music together, trumpet, boom, boom, drums. What do you call it? Yeah, brass orchestra, sort of that. Long tradition in Norway, so it's big. Next one is choir. And the green one, the big one, is history. Volunteers into history and heritage work. And then it's husflidslag in English. That's traditional you see, you think we speak very, very well English, but we are thinking in Norwegian, so we... Yeah, like the artist out here who are doing the woodwork and painting. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Say it in Polish.
Myślę, że doszliśmy do tego, że to są chyba koła gospodyń wiejskich albo jakiś norweski odpowiednik tego.
Thank you. It's quite big, and in some part of Norway it's very, very big. Into the Sami tradition, it's huge. Then we call it in Sami language duchi. And then the purple one is art. The people who are making galleries and doing paintings as a hobby. Next one, please. Yeah, I'm now coming to the end. So this is actually the thing I've been talking to, but I have something more to show you. Next one, please. Some more picture from... it's quite typical in Norway to have a festival who everyone participate in. We have Ice Festival. I know you around in Polish cities have different festivals where a lot of people participate. The Ice Festival is extremely good because it's very easy to include everyone into it. Next one, please. This is part of the Ice Festival with dancers having a dance with a big machine. Really, really beautiful and crazy. Next one, please. We do a lot of concerts outside, and remember, outside in my town, it's often in the winter time 20 below zero. So it's heavy stuff to play guitar, but we do it. Next one, please. I said that some of the municipality are running the churches. We are doing that, and the reason we are doing that is that we build the church. To finance the church, we first build it in snow and ice. Look at the picture at the left. That's the church in snow and ice, and we use an act into that snow and ice church, and we get the people from the government, the mayor, from the business life and everyone to come and look. And when they saw this, they said, okay, yes, we pay the church for real. So 3 years after the church was built. It's a quite cool church. It looks like something else than a church, but we like it. Next one, please. Also very, very typical Norwegian to use the city center to festival, and when you are a part of Norway where you have snow, we do things in snow. So we have this dog sled race. They run 1,000 kilometers. They spend 7 days out at the plateau in the snow. So it's a rough sport. Next one, please. And this, very special, you can also run a race with reindeer. And the reindeer race, it's an international sport. So we have project with Finland and Sweden, and we also had Russia into this before. They are not allowed now. Okay, next one, please. And next one, please. And next one, please. Yeah, that's the last one. My daughter's dog, she's a Chinese crest, a Chinese dog without fur, living in the snow. That's also possible. So, welcome to Norway. Thank you.
Thank you, Tur Helge Reinsen-Moon. Thank you very much for speaking, for your presentation. Drodzy Państwo, przechodzimy do ostatniej prelekcji. Teraz o tym, jak promować kulturę przy ograniczonym budżecie. Vedat Sevinser z Norsensus Media Forum. Zapraszam.
Dzień dobry. Actually, there were more interesting stuff, and I'm sure you have questions to ask to Helge. So I'll try to keep my part as short as possible, then you can have more time. And yeah, while Helge is still here, if you have more questions. It's so nice to see so many familiar faces again. So I will try to also both Thea and Helge just touch upon some parts what I was planning to share today, but I'll be very quickly covering the topic, how to make culture more sustainable without breaking the budget. Because most of the time we focus a lot about the fund, a lot, to create a good culture sector, we have to have a lot of money. But I didn't know that part until Helge just presented. You know, a municipality with one of the lowest budget in terms of culture funding, but still the people can be very happy with the culture offers. So that somehow supports also the main topic of my presentation. You know, how to, if there's a way to create a culture sector or culture offer for the people without having a lot of money. So I'll just briefly present some strategies based on some examples, both from Norway and also from Poland. If you go to the next one. Yeah, the next one. Yeah, one of the, I think the most important part also from the examples presented earlier is to embrace, you know, not to feel alone in your offer, in your effort to support the cultural sector. So embracing collaboration, or what we often say in a more fancy term, co-creation of culture is so important. So seeking partnership with local businesses, universities, and public. I'll just give some examples, especially with, you know, how to find some creative solutions to culture with this kind of establishing these kind of collaborations, and also networking with other municipalities as well is quite important. I don't know how active you are to see what other municipalities are doing, but what I had just also observed during this project periods, you have a lot of exciting things going on in your municipality, and to let each other what you're doing also opens a lot of door to collaboration. So if you just go to the next one, please. Yeah, I'll not just go to, you know, lecturing about co-creation. This is one of my area of working, but I can share later on. You know, when I just talk about co-creation, is a term to find way when we are trying to create a service. It can be any kind of service, but in culture sector, it's also offering developing a cultural program or an event or activity to involve people who are benefiting it, but also other stakeholders who can contribute it to, and co-creating it instead of just, you know, you as the creator or provider of the service doing everything alone. Instead, just involving both the recipients of the service, but also but other stakeholders involved in the process. If you go next, yeah, I can share my master thesis on that, especially in culture sector later on, but I don't want to lecture about it now. An example of this kind of co-creation, or, you know, engaging different actors to create a solution to the needs of culture sector is a collaboration between Sunnmøre Museum, which is an open-air museum in the city which I am living in on the west coast of Norway, and between also we as a North Census Media Forum as a non-profit organization, and also a university specialized in media field, Volda University College, and the museum doesn't have a lot of resources and all the competence when it comes to digitalization and to reach certain groups of people and offer some more inclusive offers. Especially during the Corona time, they had a problem because they couldn't offer the services they normally offer, and they just approached to University College of Volda, and one of the main courses there was designed according to their needs, and the students had to finish that course by creating some services in collaboration with the museum. And one of the outcome of that was also, we have been involved as also Norsensis, was developing a game for this open air museum, especially for the young users of the museum. It's an open landscape. There are a lot of buildings, but they cannot go into what we have developed also with some students, we guided them to create an app, a game, by using augmented reality technology. And so the visitors who are on the site of the museum can use their phone, and by scanning some objects, some buildings, some window, some door, they are served some information, and also they have to finish some task. So they just, being outside of the museum, they also learn a lot about the culture history of the region, which is called Sunnmøre, by completing some tasks. So this is one of the good examples of how to engage different actors while we are creating some cultural offers. If you go to the next one. And this was also very, very interesting, very experimental, and not only augmented reality, but also some artificial intelligence tools have been used to create some stories, some content, which is one of the biggest challenges. But I can share later on the detailed report of the project, then you can maybe have some insight. Yeah, next please. Yeah, and also another one is a short video from Corona times, and this is to promote or to keep people still updated about or just engage with folk music. And this is one of the traditional Norwegian folk music song. And some artists in collaboration with some municipalities have initiated this during the Corona time, and while they're playing, and they had these sessions, and people engage, the public engage and dance to the music while they were playing. So this is also a good example of how to engage the people, and thinking out of the box, instead of just thinking and organizing concerts all the time. There are many ways to engage the public. We can just see that short video. 1 second.
Målselv Hallinghen.
So as you can see, the idea is somehow to invite people and just make it a little bit fun by using social media, and just dress in their own way. Some have traditional, more traditional dress, and some are more funny and creative ways to. But they just join while the artists play some folk music, and they join it as a part of a social media challenge. So this is a good example, also engaging co-creating the culture. Yeah, if you could just continue. Next slide, please. Yeah, and also not only we can learn we can not only learn from Norway, but there's a lot of good examples. I was not aware actually while I was researching about some good examples. I have also realized a lot of good examples, and I'm sure you also in your municipalities have this kind of participatory way of creating culture. And one of them was I just found out was Mir Art project in Wrocław, connecting both local businesses with street artists and transforming the neglected walls into vibrant murals. So this is also a good example of co-creating culture by involving the stakeholders. Yes, next one, please. Yeah, as I said, thinking outside the venue, because most of the time we just think very in a very traditional way of creating culture or creating cultural opportunities for the public, but utilizing public spaces or utilizing the social media, as I just showed, and streets, open spaces in the city, and how to just also thinking the landscape, thinking the city as a canvas to create or to host the culture is also a quite important thing while we are creating the sustainable strategies for culture creation. Yeah, and if you just go to the next one. Some examples using different places. As Tore Helge said, if you are only in Oslo, you're not in Norway. But unfortunately, my two examples are from Oslo, so they're not typical. But he already gave a lot of good examples, so I just trust this will not be a problem. And so one of the good examples is Oslo Kulturnatt. Is a kind of an event organized by Oslo municipality, and different artists and different cultural activities are organized during this on the streets, and also a similar one, Elvelangs, is there's a river in Oslo, and throughout this river. During this cultural activity, there are different, light shows and different activities like marching together, and different musical bands are showing their shows, and the most important part here is that municipality is not doing everything, but local artists, volunteers, NGOs are participating to organize all these activities, but somehow municipality is coordinating this and making use of all kind of very different spaces, venues. Yeah, if you go to the next one. A similar one also from Warsaw, Kino Letnia initiative, and using open air cinemas, open air spaces as open air cinemas. Next one, please. Yes, and also both Thea and Tore Helge just mentioned a lot, especially with this community engagement, volunteering, because one of the key things, Tore Helge has already just mentioned that, and also when you were in Oslo, we had presented how important volunteer culture in Norway is. So while most of the municipalities have their own festivals or cultural activities, and most of them they are done with all crowdfunding and involving volunteers. A good example of this one is, if you just go to the next one, is the Per Gynt Festival. Per Gynt is a play by Ibsen. And in this smaller town, 3 hours away from Oslo, every year since 1928. This drama festival is held, and most of the things are, so it's an open air. Their slogan is drama in the mountains. So every year they have this big, this Peer Gynt play is presented. It's a very beautiful and very big production, but most of the things are again done by the local people, volunteers. But of course, also there's a lot of big production. Musicians are involved during the play. They play live music there, and they use the lake, the mountain, the space, and it's like a very, very immersive experience of seeing a drama piece. But as I said, volunteers are basically used there. Yeah, and the next one, please. And also I found an example from Krakow. It's called a program called Culture Ambassadors, and training young volunteers to lead cultural activities in this city. You can also look at it in detail. Next, please. Yeah, and Thea just mentioned, it's not clear yet, if the culture program will continue or not. But one of the focus was also, as she mentioned, the climate issue. So when it comes to climate, so involving that climate and sustainability perspective into your cultural activities is also quite vital. So reimagining, discarded materials, recycling, and so engaging, so involving this aspect of sustainability in the cultural activities is quite also a key thing. And also, if you just go back to the previous thing, it was about volunteering, and this active citizenship fund is also around all, activating citizens engaging in these kind of activities. If we go to the next one, an example of, a cultural activity with a focus on sustainability is again from Oslo. It's called Ombruksveka. It's not only a cultural activity thing, but the focus is on recycling culture. And a lot of artists, a lot of NGOs and businesses engage, and throughout the week, one or several weeks actually, and artists, libraries, businesses engage, and they do workshops and for people to recreate things, and by using some waste to create some artworks or to recycle the dress and also but the idea here is basically, as I said, there are a lot of different, it's not only culture, but most of the activities are around recreating things and creating art and culture by using, with a special focus on recycling culture. I will share the links of these activities. Later on you can have a look at it in detail. And the next one, please. And I also found an activity from Poland, the Second Life Festival in Poznan. It's also, they have installation and performance made entirely from recycled materials, and you can have a look at it as well. Yes, and I think that was all. Can you go to the next one, please? Yeah. That was all. Sorry, it was a little bit just running all the way, but I just didn't want to use all the time by thinking maybe you might have some questions. Thank you for listening. Yeah, dziękuję bardzo.
Vedat Selvin, sir, thank you for your presentation, for your examples, how to promote culture. Drodzy Państwo, teraz, zanim Państwa zaproszę na przerwę kawową, chciałabym jeszcze poprosić Pana Marka Ćwiąkałę, dyrektora Biura Podkarpackiego Stowarzyszenia Samorządów Terytorialnych. Pan Marek chciałby podziękować naszym ekspertom za wizytę.
Szanowni Państwo, Szanowni Panowie, serdecznie dziękujemy za przyjazd do... Jeśli można prosić o tłumaczenie? Dobrze. Proszę Państwa, jeszcze raz serdecznie dziękuję miłym gościom, którzy przyjechali z Norwegii i zaszczycili naszą konferencję swoim wykładem i prezentacją dorobku kulturalnego właśnie ze Skandynawii. Nie ukrywam, że po raz pierwszy z tą kulturą i z tą takim twardym charakterem wygenerowanym przez klimat miałem do czynienia w latach 70. XX wieku. Tak się złożyło, że przez moją miejscowość grupa młodych Skandynawów przeciągła łódź, którą chciała udowodnić, że w morzu, nad Morzem Czarnym również wikingowie przebywali. Potrafili przepłynąć rzekę Bałtyk, rzekę Wisłę, przeciągnąć łódź w kierunku do zlewni Dunaju i rzeką Dunaj spłynąć do Morza Czarnego. To dla mnie było wtedy w latach tych 70. niesamowitym zaskoczeniem, że ktoś taki, 4 młodych ludzi siłą swoich mięśni taką łódź na wózku jednoosiowym przeciągnął aż do Morza Czarnego. Także gratuluję tej hardości i myślę, że to zaangażowanie w kulturę i naszych mieszkańców Podkarpacia będzie znaczące. Chyba też Państwo, nie wiem czy zauważyli, ale nie zostało to wyeksponowane, że dość dużo było wspomniane o projektach z okolic Wrocławia. Myślę, że za sprawą przeniesionego z Norwegii kościoła drewnianego z miejscowości chyba Wang, w tej okolicy właśnie Wrocławia, który właśnie jest jakimś tam symbolem, takim powiedzmy rodzynkiem w obiektach naszego krajobrazu, jeżeli chodzi o naszą Polskę. Jeszcze raz bardzo serdecznie dziękuję. Chciałbym przekazać takie skromne upominki dla panów od marszałka, gospodarza miejsca. Proszę nie traktować tego jako uszczypliwość, bo pan, który wcześniej pierwszy występował, poruszył temat odzieży. Ja nie chciałbym być tutaj w tym miejscu bardzo złośliwym, ale myślę, że prezent, który zostaje przekazany w imieniu od pana marszałka, przyczyni się do wykorzystania w przyszłości na inne okazje i w innych miejscach. Jeszcze raz serdecznie dziękuję.
Panie dyrektorze, bardzo dziękujemy.
Drodzy Państwo, ja chcę powiedzieć na koniec, bo zostały nam raptem 2 prezentacje krótkie, że dzisiaj nie usłyszeliście Państwo tak naprawdę o rezultatach naszego projektu, ale nie o tym była ta konferencja. Konferencja dotyczyła przede wszystkim tego, jak można finansować kulturę na podstawie dobrych praktyk norweskich, ale też z różnych innych źródeł. Natomiast o tym, co wydarzyło się w naszym projekcie, jak spektakularne rzeczy się wydarzyły i naprawdę mówię zupełnie szczerze, spektakularne rzeczy, dowiecie się Państwo na sam koniec. Wyślemy do wszystkich samorządów i do różnych innych miejsc krótkie podsumowanie w formie filmów. Proszę, żebyście Państwo na to zwrócili okiem, dlatego że może być ono znakomitą inspiracją, jeśli zobaczą Państwo, co zrobiono w gminach Kołaczyce, Niwiska, Narol, Czarna i Świlcza. To są rzeczy niewiarygodne, to są rzeczy, których normalnie w Podkarpackim i pewnie w całej Polsce i na pewno jeszcze w wielu, wielu innych miejscach w Europie nie ma po prostu. Dziękuję.
Pani prezes, bardzo, bardzo dziękujemy. Ja myślę, że już teraz to jest dobry moment, żeby zobaczyć poszczególne etapy tego projektu. Państwo dostaniecie materiały drogą mailową, ale teraz chcielibyśmy zaprezentować taki główny film podsumowujący właśnie ten projekt.
kwietniu 2023 roku jako Podkarpackie Stowarzyszenie dla Aktywnych Rodzin rozpoczęliśmy realizację projektu Podkarpacka Kultura bez barier. Wraz z naszym partnerem z Oslo, Norsensus Media Forum, stanęliśmy przed nie lada wyzwaniem. Naszym zadaniem było wybranie 5 podkarpackich gmin, zbadanie potrzeb ich lokalnych społeczności, stworzenie i wdrożenie strategii rozwoju kultury na danym terenie, a także przeprowadzenie 5 innowacyjnych wydarzeń w gminach. Oznaczało to dla nas ogrom pracy. Tysiące przejechanych kilometrów, setki przeprowadzonych rozmów i opracowanych dokumentów. Efekt był jednak wart tego wysiłku. Dziś z przyjemnością przeprowadzimy Państwa przez każdy etap projektu i pokażemy, jaki potencjał drzemie w funduszach norweskich. Polsko-norweskim Festiwalem Twórców Kultury zainaugurowaliśmy projekt Podkarpacka Kultura bez barier. 16 twórców z Polski i z Norwegii zagrało na jednej scenie, integrując się przy wspólnym tańcu i śpiewie. Niesamowity klimat tego wydarzenia tylko utwierdził nas w przekonaniu, że ten projekt po prostu musi się udać. Projekt zakładał uczestnictwo 5 gmin, które będą rozwijać swoje dziedzictwo kulturowe. Spośród 159 gmin w całym Podkarpaciu musieliśmy zatem wybrać te, które spełniły wymagania projektowe i były gotowe na to, by wziąć udział w projekcie. Udało się. W gronie 5 gmin znalazły się gmina Czarna, gmina Kołaczyce, gmina Narol, gmina Niwiska i gmina Świlcza. Każda z tych gmin charakteryzuje się nieodkrytym i bardzo często zapomnianym, lecz bogatym dziedzictwem kulturowym. Kolejne miesiące były czasem intensywnych szkoleń i warsztatów, których efektem było opracowanie strategii działania w obszarze przedsiębiorczości i edukacji kulturalnej. To było łącznie 6 dni intensywnej i twórczej pracy. Szkolenia miały charakter praktyczny, a ich zakres tematyczny skupiał się wokół potrzeb interesariuszy lokalnego dziedzictwa, planowania wydarzeń, treningu kreatywności. W międzyczasie nasz zespół marketingowy odwiedził wszystkie 5 gmin, by udokumentować perełki historyczne i porozmawiać z ludźmi, którzy dbają o dorobek kulturowy swojego regionu i przekazują te tradycje z pokolenia na pokolenie. Gdybyśmy chcieli opowiedzieć Państwu o potencjale wszystkich gmin biorących udział w projekcie, ten film musiałby trwać dużo dłużej. Dlatego przez kolejne etapy przeprowadzimy Państwa wraz z jedną z tych gmin, gminą Narol. Mieszkańcy tej gminy opowiedzieli nam o tym, że chcą, aby na nowo odrodzić warsztat drzeworytniczy sprzed setek lat.
Rozmawiałem z panią dyrektor, że też i pisanki będziemy tworzyć, będziemy kamieniarkę też robić. Dużo jest dziedzin, które ja wykonuję i chciałbym jak najwięcej tej młodzieży przekazać. To jest najważniejsze i takie moje motto jest, że ta młodzież musi być bardziej kreatywna i zaszczepiona właśnie tą sztuką ludową.
Gmina położona jest na roztoczu, niegdyś zamieszkiwana przez wiele kultur i narodów. Cieszy się popularnością do dziś. Przyjeżdża tutaj dużo turystów i tradycyjny drzeworyt płazowski może stać się jednym z elementów oferty lokalnej kultury. Ta ludowa technika wykorzystywana jest przy pomocy prostych narzędzi: nożyka, dłuta płaskiego, dłuta w kształcie litery U. W te wszystkie szczegóły wtajemniczył nas pan Józef Lewkowicz, mistrz drzeworytu. Skoro poznaliśmy już dziedzictwo kulturowe gminy, czas zacząć działać. W planach było stworzenie Centrum Drzeworytu Płazowskiego, miejsca, gdzie jak za dawnych lat będą przeplatały się ze sobą kultura polska, ukraińska i żydowska.
Jesteśmy przed budynkiem dawnej szkoły w Płazowie, szkoły podstawowej. Jest to budynek należący do gminy Narol. Chcemy zaopiekować się tym budynkiem, stworzyć kuźnię ludowych praktyk. Chcemy, aby tradycyjne rzemiosło powróciło do Płazowa, a szczególnie zależy nam na drzeworycie płazowskim.
To właśnie tam, w kolejnych miesiącach, sale lekcyjne zamieniały się w sale warsztatowe, multimedialne, wielokulturowe. Jesienią ubiegłego roku wraz z przedstawicielami gmin wybraliśmy się do Oslo. Spektakularne krajobrazy, nieco kapryśna norweska pogoda i solidna dawka kulturowych inspiracji. Tak w największym skrócie możemy opisać ten wyjazd. To były bardzo intensywne 3 dni, w trakcie których Vedat i Abdurrahim, nasi norwescy partnerzy, pokazali nam ciekawe miejsca w Oslo.
Mieliśmy okazję zobaczyć, usłyszeć, poznać tak naprawdę sposób, w jaki Oslo, można powiedzieć, wyprowadza kulturę, wyprowadza sztukę z muzeów na ulicę, do tych przestrzeni publicznych. Bardzo poważne podejście do tych wszystkich rzeczy. Jak coś robią, to robią na poważnie. Jeśli mówią, że ta sztuka wychodzi do przestrzeni publicznych, to znaczy, że ona wychodzi, że szukają najlepszych artystów, że szukają najlepszych miejsc, że starają się stworzyć najlepsze warunki, najlepsze finansowanie. Nie jest to zrobienie tylko czegoś, sztuki dla sztuki, tylko zrobienie czegoś najlepszego.
Ale wróćmy do Polski, a konkretnie do Płazowa. Nadeszła zima, a wraz z nią stara przedwojenna szkoła powoli wracała do czasów swojej świetności. Zniknęły od dawna nieużywane przybory szkolne, pojawiły się narzędzia do drzeworytu, zdjęcia i stroje, które ożywiły wspomnienia. 25 stycznia stara szkoła w Płazowie znów tętniła życiem. Przybyli do niej okoliczni mieszkańcy, młodzież, dzieci, przedstawiciele lokalnych władz i miłośnicy tradycyjnego drzeworytu. Nie zabrakło wspólnego śpiewu, tradycyjnych potraw oraz ciekawych wspomnień sprzed lat. Od tego dnia gmina Narol wzbogaciła się o kolejną atrakcję turystyczną. Centrum Drzeworytu w Płazowie z salą warsztatową, multimedialną i wielokulturową. Przez kolejne dni w centrum odbywały się warsztaty drzeworytnicze, w trakcie których tradycja drzeworytu była przekazywana następnym pokoleniom. Otwarcie Centrum Drzeworytu w Płazowie to tylko jeden z efektów projektu Podkarpacka kultura bez barier. Jesteśmy dumni z tego, że każda z gmin biorących udział w projekcie podjęła się tego trudnego wyzwania. Z przyjemnością uczestniczyliśmy w świlczańskiej kolędzie w zgodzie z tradycją, w trakcie której dzięki technologii VR zanurzyliśmy się we wspomnieniach mieszkańców dotyczących tradycyjnego obrzędu wigilijnego. Głównym punktem programu było przedstawienie na żywo w wykonaniu grupy obrzędowej imienia Marii i Józefa Dziedziców. Dzięki mieszkańcom gminy Kołaczyce mogliśmy wziąć udział w uczcie na zamku Golesz. Na moment przenieśliśmy się w czasie do średniowiecza, poznaliśmy groźnego Ścibora. Do dziś odwiedzający zamek Golesz mogą skorzystać ze słuchowiska i interaktywnie zwiedzać historyczne ruiny. Barwne polichromie i zabytkowy dworek Chubki to znak rozpoznawczy gminy Niwiska. Połączenie sztuki teatralnej, muzyki, tańca i wystawy prac inspirowanych polichromiami to doświadczenie, którego się nie zapomina. Mieszkańcy gminy Czarna wprowadzili nas z kolei w świat tradycji rzemiosła tkackiego. Wydarzenie podsumowujące projekt w gminie Czarna dopiero przed nami, ale przewidziane w programie spektakle z udziałem mieszkańców i generatywna animacja to bardzo dobra zapowiedź tego, co nas czeka. Projekt Podkarpacka kultura bez barier to bardzo duże przedsięwzięcie realizowane w kilku wymiarach jednocześnie. Nie byłoby to możliwe, gdyby nie praca i zaangażowanie wielu odważnych i kreatywnych ludzi, władz samorządowych, przedstawicieli gmin, wolontariuszy. Ten projekt to jeden z dowodów na to, że fundusze norweskie z powodzeniem wspierają rozwój współpracy kulturalnej, przedsiębiorczości w sektorze kultury i zarządzania dziedzictwem kulturowym. Tego, że przez kilkanaście ostatnich miesięcy mogliśmy towarzyszyć gminom w odkrywaniu na nowo dziedzictwa kulturowego ich regionu.
Tak jest, brawa zdecydowanie się należą, drodzy Państwo. Wielkie, wielowymiarowe przedsięwzięcie zrealizowane przy współpracy dużej ilości bardzo kreatywnych osób. No i drodzy Państwo, tak jak tutaj w filmie już było powiedziane, realny dowód na to, że fundusze norweskie wspierają lokalną kulturę. Drodzy Państwo, a teraz chcielibyśmy przedstawić, jak wyglądała, zaprezentować, jak wyglądała współpraca właśnie w ramach projektu przy jednej z gmin, gminy Narol. A właściwie tę prezentację przedstawi Państwu pani Gabriela Kołodziej, dyrektor Gminnego Ośrodka Kultury w Narolu. Zapraszam.
Dziękuję bardzo, witam Państwa bardzo serdecznie. To tak w kilku słowach, bo dużo zostało już powiedziane, a ja chciałam tak omówić projekt, w którym uczestniczyliśmy jako gmina Narol, ale także w tym projekcie uczestniczyła gmina Kołaczyce, gmina Czarna, gmina Niewiska i gmina Świlcza. Było to wyróżnienie. Staraliśmy się, poproszę o pierwszy slajd. Nasza gmina Narol to taka, graniczymy z województwem lubelskim, to tak już 150 km od Rzeszowa, tak bliżej czasami nam do Lublina niż tutaj na Podkarpacie, ale na szczęście PSAR nas znalazł, dotarł do nas i my mieliśmy to szczęście, że braliśmy udział w tej rekrutacji. Następny slajd. Tutaj przyjechał do nas zespół z PSAR-u, gdzie musieliśmy jakby przedstawić naszą i ofertę kulturalną, ale też jakby wszystkie perspektywy i wszystkie możliwości, które możemy zrobić. Do naszego zespołu zaangażowaliśmy zastępcę burmistrza Arkadiusza Mroczka, który reprezentował Urząd Gminy, mnie jako instytucję kultury i Urszulę Wielgosz, która reprezentowała zespół Galicjanki jako twórcę ludowego. Dało to bardzo szeroki, fajny kontekst, spojrzenie na kulturę z różnych perspektyw. Proszę, następny slajd. No i później zaczęły się szkolenia. No to tak myśląc o szkoleniach, mieliśmy wrażenie, fajnie, pojedziemy, no ale to była ciężka, naprawdę ciężka, drodzy Państwo, praca. Była ciężka dlatego, że pokazywała nam kulturę, znaczy jak można spojrzeć na kulturę z zupełnie innej perspektywy, zupełnie inną. Myśmy tak, jak się pracuje w Domu Kultury, powiem ze swojego doświadczenia, no to wiemy, robimy wydarzenie, plener, spektakl, prowadzimy zajęcia, tak, a tutaj nagle nam mówią, Monika jak raz przyszła na szkolenie, mówi, na kulturze możecie zarabiać. No jak zarabiać? To się nie da. No ale się okazało, że się da. Tak, trzeba inaczej troszkę spojrzeć, inaczej podejść do tematu i inaczej podejść do ludzi, do społeczeństwa. Więc te szkolenia naprawdę były bardzo intensywne, z takimi gorącymi głowami wracaliśmy, ale bardzo zadowoleni, bo wiedzieliśmy, że się czegoś nauczyliśmy i że nam to naprawdę da w przyszłości wiele, wiele możliwości. Świetna prezentacja dobrych praktyk, gdzie instytucje kultury działają w bardzo nowoczesny sposób, świetne szkolenia, nauka pisania projektów, zarządzania projektami, czego tak naprawdę no, trzeba się nauczyć, trzeba to wypracować, no i takie bardzo szerokie i perspektywiczne myślenie. Następny slajd, no i diagnoza. Mieliśmy to szczęście, że została przeprowadzona w naszym społeczeństwie diagnoza, w społeczeństwie lokalnym, badająca potrzeby kulturalne z naszej małej społeczności, bo z naszych stołków wiadomo, my wiemy, co my chcemy, a czasami nie patrzymy na tą lokalną społeczność, bo ta współpraca, przynajmniej u nas w naszej gminie, do tej pory była taka no, dosyć słaba ze stowarzyszeniami, jakby nie było tej współpracy i z lokalną społecznością, co tutaj przy tym projekcie nam naprawdę otworzyło oczy i pozwoliło zaangażować lokalną społeczność, ale także pracowników i urzędu, i koła gospodyń. Mówię, sołtys Płazowa też się tak niesamowicie zaangażował i to wszystko robili po prostu w swoim czasie wolnym. To było takie super, że oni, nie wiem, drzewa zabrakło, to drugi sołtys z drugiej wsi nam przywiózł 5 worków drzewa, żebyśmy mogli opalać. w tej szkole w Płazowie, do której zaraz dojdę. Następny slajd poproszę. No i wizyta studyjna w Norwegii. No i to też nie był wypoczynek. Napracowaliśmy się, drodzy Państwo, byliśmy i w urzędach, i w muzeach, i w instytucjach kultury, gdzie mogliśmy na żywo doświadczyć tej kultury. Mi się tam okropnie podobało. To jest zupełnie inne myślenie o kulturze, zupełnie inne społeczeństwo, niesamowicie otwarte i u nich jakby ta kultura to jest taka rzecz oczywista. To nie jest coś takiego, że nie wiem, dla wybranych. Tam kultura, sztuka jest wszędzie. W szkołach, na podwórkach. No jak byliśmy w urzędzie, oni powiedzieli, że mają chyba ponad 1000 rzeźb na terenie Oslo w obiektach publicznych, no to robi wrażenie, bo nie wiem, w naszych dużych miastach, powiedzmy, dla mnie jest za mało tej kultury, jest sztuki za mało i dzieciaki w szkołach, czy w liceach, czy podstawowych szkołach, czy w liceach, po prostu, no też dla nich to jest coś takiego, no trzeba iść do opery, do filharmonii, do teatru. Tam jest to na bieżąco, tam jest to na ulicy, tam jest po prostu to takie normalne. I to jest świetne. Następny slajd poproszę. No i przeszliśmy do budowania strategii. Tak, tu jeszcze bardziej głowy parowały i było ciężko, ale tutaj zastanawialiśmy się i pracowaliśmy też jakby na jakim dziedzictwie, na czym moglibyśmy się skupić, co moglibyśmy z tego naszego regionu wydobyć, żeby było ciekawe i dla naszej lokalnej społeczności, i dla społeczności, dla turystów. Dla tych, którzy my jesteśmy gminą bardzo turystyczną. Nie mamy dużego przemysłu, nie mamy wielu zakładów, mamy dużo turystów w okresie letnim. I tutaj staraliśmy się skupić, żeby stworzyć coś tak wyjątkowego i tak ciekawego, żeby przyciągnąć i turystów, ale też lokalną społeczność. Następny slajd. No więc skupiliśmy się na drzeworycie z Płazowa. Płazów to miejscowość w naszej gminie, od Narola oddalona o 8 kilometrów. Był tam budynek po szkole podstawowej, który stał, niszczał, nic się tam nie działo. No i postanowiliśmy wspólnie, bo to naprawdę była inicjatywa jakby z wielu stron, oddolna inicjatywa społeczna, żeby jednak coś zrobić w Płazowie, wrócić z tym drzeworytem, który rzeczywiście od co najmniej 830 roku w Płazowie istniał. Kolekcja tych klocków drzeworytniczych jest kolekcją w Muzeum Etnograficznym w Krakowie, a pan Józef, który tutaj jest z nami obecny, odtwarza te wszystkie klocki i tutaj może się pochwalić, że już ponad połowę tej kolekcji odtworzył, co prezentujemy właśnie w budynku. Ten budynek siłami wolontariuszy został odnowiony, odrestaurowany na tyle, na ile nam środki pozwoliły gminne, bo doposażenie i jakby otoczka, cała produkcja wydarzenia już była finansowana z projektu. To następny slajd, poproszę. No i wydarzenie odbyło się 25 stycznia 2024 roku. Podczas tego wydarzenia zaangażowaliśmy naszą właśnie grupę śpiewaczą Galicjanki z Roztocza, które pracowały z grupą dziecięcą i podczas wydarzenia zostały przedstawione 3 kultury, które kiedyś na naszych terenach istniały, działały, czyli kultura polska, żydowska i ukraińska. Były pieśni w języku polskim i ukraińskim, była kuchnia polska, ukraińska i żydowska. No i w ramach tego wydarzenia udało nam się w tej szkole, w tym budynku dawnej szkoły otworzyć 3 nowe sale. Salę warsztatową z warsztatu drzeworytu, salę, tutaj widać na tym jednym zdjęciu, salę wielokulturową oraz salę multimedialną. Następny slajd. I tutaj mamy salę wielokulturową pokazaną. Wywołaliśmy zdjęcia stare z okresu międzywojennego Płazowa i mieszkańców Płazowa. co było takim fajnym zaskoczeniem dla mieszkańców i lokalnej społeczności, bo czasami niektórzy swoich rodziców albo dziadków rozpoznawali na tych zdjęciach. Pokazaliśmy przykładowe stroje z naszego regionu i następny slajd. No i sala multimedialna, w której jest prezentowana animacja. Stworzyliśmy tą animację o drzeworycie, aby pokazać, czym jest drzeworyt, ale jak może on iść w przyszłość. I następny slajd. No i jakie mamy plany? Plany mamy wielkie, znaczy ja mam bardzo, bardzo duże, a co wyjdzie zobaczymy, na co się burmistrz zgodzi. Chcemy, aby cały budynek tej dawnej szkoły, tam jeszcze zostały nam 3 sale, zostały odnowione, odrestaurowane, aby przez wakacje funkcjonowała ona jako centrum kultury, żeby odbywały się tam warsztaty drzeworytu, żeby była kamieniarka bruślińska charakterystyczna dla naszego regionu, żeby można było przyjechać na warsztaty śpiewu białego, żeby można było skorzystać, nie wiem, zobaczyć dawną salę, taką klasę, jak już dzieciaki teraz nie mają multimedialne świetne sale, ale żeby przykładową salę dawną z lat 80. czy 70. zobaczyć. Bardzo dużo jakby w tym budynku zostało tych dawnych akcesoriów do nauczania, które możemy się nimi zaopiekować i je pokazać. Chcemy, żeby też jakby tutaj turyści mogli skorzystać z tej oferty, albo z warsztatów jednodniowych, albo z warsztatów kilkudniowych, jak przyjeżdżają właśnie na Roztocze. Ten Płazów jest naprawdę położony na fajnym takim szlaku i jest to miejsce takie dosyć dostępne dla i turystów, no i mieszkańców. Przez to, że szkoła jest obok kościoła, ma duży plac, wszędzie jest, wszystkim mieszkańcom Płazowa jest blisko, a z okolicznych miejscowości też jest łatwo dojechać. I następny slajd poproszę. No i króciutko jeszcze podsumowując cały projekt, w którym mieliśmy to szczęście, że wzięliśmy udział. No uważam, że tak powiem kolokwialnie może, ale bardzo nam otworzył głowy. Otworzył nam podejście właśnie do kultury, do zarządzania kulturą. Pokazał, jak można troszkę inaczej, troszkę lepiej, troszkę z drugiej strony podejść i do lokalnej społeczności, i do dziedzictwa kulturalnego, jakie mamy w regionie. Jak to możemy wykorzystać? I uważam, tak się śmiałam do naszego zespołu, że to tak po tych szkoleniach, że to każdy by musiał w takim szkoleniu brać udział, żeby wiedzieć, żeby mieć ten fajny taki bagaż, żeby przyszedł, tworzył i stwarzał naprawdę fajne takie kreatywne wydarzenia, bo naprawdę daje to bardzo, bardzo dużo możliwości i chyba na tym skończę, bo dziękuję bardzo i polecam i jeszcze poproszę o naszą animację i żałuję, że nie mogę jeszcze raz uczestniczyć w tym projekcie. Dziękuję.
Bardzo dziękujemy. I drodzy Państwo, zbliżamy się do końca. Ja wiem, że Pani Prezes, Pani Monika Markowicz już dziękowała, ale myślę, że mogę jeszcze raz Panią poprosić o podziękowanie partnerom, wszystkim uczestnikom. Pani Moniko, zapraszam tutaj.
Tak, ja jeszcze sobie pozwolę popatrzeć na animację, jeśli Państwo pozwolicie. Nie wiedziałam, że będzie taka animacja, jestem pod wrażeniem. Drodzy Państwo, ci, którzy tutaj z Państwa zostali do końca, sami wiecie, czy coś sobie z tego weźmiecie, co zobaczyliście, co usłyszeliście, czy nie. Ci, którzy wyszli, być może potrzebowali wyjść, być może coś sobie złapali na początku i z tego też być może skorzystają. Dzisiaj, teraz chciałam Wam bardzo, bardzo podziękować, że mamy Was tutaj. I chcę jeszcze jedną ważną rzecz zaznaczyć. To nie Wy mieliście szczęście. To my mieliśmy ogromne szczęście. To my dokonaliśmy wspaniałego wyboru, jak widać. Bo każde z tych wydarzeń naprawdę przerosło nasze oczekiwania. Ja mogę Wam pokazać, co napisaliśmy we wniosku, a poproszę kogoś od nas z zespołu, żeby spisał, co się naprawdę wydarzyło. Kartek we wniosku było 70 stron we wniosku. Teraz trzeba by było zapełnić pewnie z 10, a może 20 razy tyle, żeby opisać to wszystko, co się wydarzyło w ramach tego projektu. Dziękuję Wam bardzo. To Wy, to Państwo jesteście siłą napędową dla naszej organizacji. To Państwo, bo gdybyśmy nie mieli Was i nie miałby kto zrealizować tak świetnie tych działań w Waszych gminach, w Waszych samorządach, to my zaprzestalibyśmy na tych kartkach. Dziękuję Wam bardzo.